Welcome back, football fans, to another episode of the Prediction Show. First of all, well done if you were on this from the previous video. What a job Nuno is doing at Nottingham Forest. Easy does it for that one. And of course, Wolves scored in the second half. They scored twice in the second half, and there was actually 4 goals in the second half of that game. And well done to this user. You commented on the previous video. This is what you said, and you have won a month of Odd Alerts Pro. I will be in touch very soon to get you started. And you too can win Odd Alerts Pro. Just comment down below, and I've got a question for you to make it nice and easy. Good win for Tottenham yesterday, 1-1 between United and Chelsea. What I want to know is your top 4 for the Premier League. Let me know what you think your top 4 is. I want to see 1, 2, 3 and 4 in the comments, and you will automatically be entered into a draw to win Odd Alerts Pro, which includes all of these features and more. So good morning, it is Monday the 4th of November, and we are going to start with a game from Germany which is taking place today. But don't worry if you're watching this on Tuesday, Wednesday, any of those days, there will still be value for you in this video. We're going to check out some European fixtures, we're going to jump to the trends page, we're also going to look at the BetSlip generator because there has been a massive new addition to that tool. So from Germany, and this game actually came from Copilot here, and it was suggesting a home victory. The probability model has it at 1.84, and the odds at the moment are actually a little bit less than that. So negative value in terms of the home win, although Pinnacle has it higher than most at 1.73. What struck me was, of course, the away team are very poor. As you can see, just 1 draw away from home. They've conceded 3 goals in the last 3 away games, but they've also scored in 4 of the last 4 away games and 5 of the last 6. That's what stands out to me anyway. The fact that they can still score. Not scoring more than 1 in the majority of games. If you look at all their games, just 2 wins all season. Now Paderborn are a better team, no doubt about that, but in recent times, 1 win in the last 4 games, and they've conceded in every game this season. Now at home, BTTS has landed in every single game as well, so that's why I gravitated towards BTTS here at 1.62. BTTS actually higher odds than over 2.5 goals, and of course you need 1 goal less, but you need them in the correct nets. That is a given, and given the recent data between these two teams, you would suggest that that is not a bad option. So what I'm going to do is go to the predictions tab here, and for this one, I'm going to be adding my predictions on Odd Alerts and trying to rank in the rankings for this week. If you rank top, you win a free month of Odd Alerts Pro. Now, if I rank top, I can give myself a pat on the back, I guess. What you can also do, some of you might not be aware of this, the Predictions Spotlight. This allows you to see the top predictions from the top users on Odd Alerts for the Predictions League. So the people that consistently rank in that top 10%, these are the selections from them. Now, it doesn't allow you to see who it is because people will just copy their plays and it will affect the rankings, right? It won't be fair, it'll just be full of copycats. So that's why it is hidden, but you can see how many games they've won over this period of time and their average points per game. So you can see how many points you would win here if, let's say, Bayern Munich beat Benfica, you get 1.9 points. And if we just go to the rankings so far, for game week 88, only been 1 day as we open Monday here. Rob is on a 5-game winning streak. Well done to Rob, who is always there or thereabouts, and 16 predictions made so far, so he's got a healthy number to go. So we saw some users looking at Manchester United there. Let's take a look at Tuesday's European games. We have some games in the Champions League, of course. Now, what if I wanted to create a bet builder from these games automatically using the probability model, which is this? There's a tool for that. This is the BetSlip generator. If you've not used it before, it allows you to leverage the probability model to create bet slips in seconds based on high probability or low probability, whatever you select in these settings. And one of the updates that I pushed recently was the ability to adjust the competitions that it looks at. By default, it's going to scan all games across the world. But what if we click this and then we search for Europe, and then we can see the Champions League, the Europa League, the Conference League. I'm going to select those 3 competitions and then adjust some of the settings. So we're looking at the next 5 days. We'll keep value bets only for this one just to see what kind of games we get. We'll look at doubles and we'll go home wins, draws, away win. Let's not have draws actually. Over 1.5 goals, 2.5 goals. Do we go with the double chance as well? Do we keep that on? We've got corner markets in here now as well. I'm going to keep it like this. So we've got 3 competitions selected, the European competitions. Next 5 days, value bets only. Let's hit get. And here we are then. We have doubles that look pretty good to me. Stuttgart to beat Atalanta at home, 2.35 is the first that comes through. Now, I just did a double take. Usually my home win percentage is much higher. I've got it set at 30% for some reason, and I've got the away win at 35%. But regardless, everything you see here is value. And Stuttgart, if they're the odds for Stuttgart, then let me tell you, Stuttgart double chance or draw no bet is fantastic value. We will take a look at this game actually, because Stuttgart, been very impressed with them. We covered the game on Friday. In Friday's video, they were away at Leverkusen and they drew 0-0, which to stop Leverkusen scoring is a feat in its own. A point at Leverkusen is very good. Yes, Bayern Munich are probably going to win the league in Germany. 7 points clear are they now? But still, Stuttgart, very, very impressive this season. As we continue to scroll down, we have PSV at home is another value bet. They're hosting Girona. Ludogorets versus Athletic Bilbao. Over 1.5 goals is 1.37. That is also a value bet based on the probability model's expectation here. 74.1% probability. So PSV is being used in a couple of slips. I'll check out the raw data later, but I just think that if you're looking at value bets, it's possible that given all these fixtures, there might not be too many value bets for the home wins. If we were to just remove the full-time result markets and run again, we now see some double chance in here. We see some over 2.5 goals. Hoffenheim, Lyon, should be a good game, that one. And then if we scroll down, we can see here, Galatasaray against Spurs, over 2.5 goals. 1.45, quite low that, but it is still considered value based on the model's expectations. And you can see that the bookies' expectations as well are for goals in that game. And that should be a very, very interesting game. And given the injuries at the moment, Romero went off, didn't he, for Tottenham yesterday. Van de Ven, unlikely to be risked. Galatasaray, I think they will score in this game if they can get behind that defence. If Ben Davies is playing and Dragusin, it's not exactly the first choice centre-back pairing for Tottenham and Ange Postecoglou, and this is a very, very tricky away game against Osimhen and co. So that was the BetSlip generator. What I'm going to do now is take a look at the trends pages. If you want a specific Champions League video, let me know in the comments. Hit like, hit subscribe. And if it gets 500 likes, I will do it, of course. I am true to my word. Just look back at the previous videos. But for this one, we're going to take a look at sort of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday games from the trends pages, because there is so much value to be had here. So we'll take a look at some home wins, shall we? 6 out of 7 there for Zlin, and they are playing at 5 p.m. today, 1.62. We'll take a look at the home wins page in a new tab in a moment. BTTS as well. Fulham Brentford is a game that we will take a quick look at, but I'm finding it tough to call. We'll take a look at the results in a moment, but of course, BTTS in the majority of games, as we know, for Brentford. No clean sheets for Brentford, incidentally, and Fulham playing pretty well as well. Maybe Raul Jimenez to have a shot on target is not a bad option. I've had Traore to have a shot in a lot of games this season. And that's been a pretty good play, because he is getting into some good positions. And against Brentford, who have conceded in every game, yeah, it's not a bad option, is it? Over 2.5 goals as well, we'll open that one up. And first half goals here as well. If you're not familiar with the trends page, what you can do here, we can see that there's a game here, 11 out of 12 combined this season have seen a first half goal. We can click on the odds and just say, let me know if it hits 1.8. And then I will go in and investigate. Unintentional rhymes everywhere on this channel. So this is the trends page. There are more trend options when you click on the top menu up here. So we will start with the BTTS trends pages, and we can see we've got some interesting games here from the non-league in England. We've got Dorking Wanderers, great YouTube channel if you want to check that out. We've got Wickham away from home, 6 out of 6. 6 out of 6 as well for Warrington Town. They are evens to see this happen again. They must be playing a pretty good team. They're playing Brackley Town, who has seen BTTS in just 14% of games, scored in just over half of their games this season. Both of these teams with a negative goal difference. That's an interesting one to see how it goes. Also 6 out of 6 is a team playing today on Monday, Stal Rizal, who have scored in every away game so far. BTTS landing in every away game so far. But again, that home team, 14%. Let's take a little look at this game, shall we? Open it in a new tab. This one is 4 p.m. We look at the overall form. Goals scored, 1.14 for this home team. Failed to score in 43% of games. Now, BTTS has landed in the last 3 games, in 4 of the last 5 for the home team. So the goal scoring has improved. They've scored in 3 of the last 4 home games, winning 3 of the last 4 home games. So this is why it's important to look at recent form as well. If we were to go to goals and click 5 here, you can see that it does jump up to 1.6 goals scored per game. If you look at the last 6, it's 1.83 for this team, and for both teams actually 11 goals in the last 6 games. And the away team is conceding 2 goals per game across that period as well. So we will take a look at the away team, see how they're doing. They conceded 4 in the last game, 2 before that, 2 before that, 1 before that. They've conceded in a lot of games, haven't they, to be fair? I'm looking at a clean sheet here and I can't see one, certainly not away from home. So 6 games, as we saw on the trends page, 6 games away from home, 6 games at BTTS. Let's take a look at the odds on offer at the moment for this market. Interestingly as well, the bookies are quite split on who will win this game, which I always think is a good indication for an open game. They're not sure which way it will go. It could go either way. BTTS 1.57. I'm going to set an alert, but I think it's one that we could pair with something else. So BTTS 1.5 with Bet365. Let me know if it hits evens and I will go in and take it for sure. Let's have a look at the probability model for BTTS on this game. 1.68. So I'm going to add that as well to my predictions. And over 2.5 goals, 1.76. You know what? I'm going to be a bit more risky with my prediction for this game. And I'm going to save that. And let's see how that does. Let's see where I rank come the next Odd Alerts video. Back to the BTTS page, and it looks like for Tuesday there's some good combinations. Feel free to check out this trends page. I'll link it in the description. You can see here we've got Wickham, we've got Warrington, we've got Portsmouth also on Tuesday, Scarborough. There's some very, very good options for BTTS. QPR, I think it was 0-0 at the weekend, so have a look at their recent data, but certainly at home, 6 out of 7 games. They're also playing on Tuesday. You've got Luton, BTTS on Friday with West Brom 1-1. They play on Wednesday, 6 out of 7. They've scored in every home game at Luton, and they are at home again as they were on Friday. Silkeborg also playing today. They're away at FC Copenhagen in the Danish Super League. Failed to score in 0 games so far, both of these teams. Let's take a look at this one. And we'll open it up in a new tab and start to explore now. Just 6 games played, home or away. You can see that it is FC Copenhagen that are the better team. Probably expected to win this one. Let's have a look, 1.42. And in terms of goals conceded, it is quite low for both teams, isn't it? Head-to-head could be important for this one. Let's take a look, 2-2 in the previous game, which was in October. Silkeborg, they have drawn the last 6 games. Wow. Silkeborg have drawn the last 6 games, including that 2-2 against Copenhagen. They've had a 2-2, a 3-3, and another 2-2 in there. Away from home, they've scored in every game they've played this season. Copenhagen have conceded in all but 1 of their games. What do you make of this one? Let me know in the comments. Quite an interesting game. I'm actually going to go for my prediction, 1.84 for the home win. Will they break the trend in terms of the draws and finally lose in terms of Silkeborg. BTTS is also 1.8 with the probability model, and that is what I'm going to go for. So 1.8 is my prediction for this one. Let me know what you think about that in the comments. So 1.53 on Bet365 for 3 or more goals, whereas BTTS 1.57. Remember, the away team have scored in every game this season, and the home team have conceded in all but 1. And yeah, let me know what you think about this one. I am going to add that to the double, which gets us a 2.62. And as a BTTS double, I quite like the look of that. Let me know what you think in the comments. Now we will take a look at Fulham Brentford. As you can see, BTTS there, 78% for Fulham and 89% for Brentford. It is a London derby, a West London derby. And when we look at the results so far, we'll look at the overall form. And you can see 12 points for Fulham, 13 for Brentford. So I think Fulham, actually, in the last few games, they've not got the results that they probably would have wanted. They had a fantastic spell, you can see there. Lost to Man United, played well in that first game, I thought, against Manchester United, and then went on a 5-game unbeaten run. They've lost 3 games so far this season, whereas Brentford, there's just goals. There's goals in their games, and I just wonder if one of these weeks they will keep a clean sheet. As you can see, they have not kept a clean sheet as of yet. Away from home, they've lost 4 out of 4. And I said this when they'd lost 3 out of 3. Look at the teams they've played. And going to Fulham is not necessarily an easier game than, say, Manchester United. But it is, when you look at the teams they've played, Liverpool, City, Spurs, and then Man United, it's getting progressively easier. And now Fulham. If we look at cards, Brentford's opponents have been booked in every game. They've been booked more than once in 89% of games. In terms of the first half cards, the opponent of Brentford has been booked in the first half in every single game that they have played. And Brentford have made a good job of starting games pretty quickly, haven't they? There's been a lot of first half goals. Second half cards, Fulham have seen 4.11. And let's have a look at timing in general, because where are the goals for Fulham? We all know about Brentford and their incredible first half record. 12 first half goals scored by Brentford so far this season, 6 in the second half, so double in the first half. And also in terms of double, Fulham are conceding double the number of goals in the second half. And just 11% of games for both of these teams has seen a 0-0 in the second half. And Brentford, there has been a first half goal in every single game that they have played in the Premier League this season. Quite a remarkable record. And they have scored in 89% of those games. They are scoring in the first half quite a lot, but this is an away game. It's a London derby, not the fiercest of London derbies by any stretch, I don't think. So I'm looking at overall form here on cards for Brentford, just because of that away run. They've had a very tricky start in terms of their away games that they've played. So I'm looking at overall form just to see how they are doing. They've received 1.56 cards per game. That is quite low. Whereas at home, Fulham, 3.5 cards per game. So BTTS, yes, and over 1 card in the second half gets us to 1.91. Let's take a look at the player props tool to see if we can find any value in the markets for players. So we'll search for Fulham, all the Champions League games, all the European games on the player props tool as well right now, so you can get ahead of the game. Let's look at the last 10 games, and we will look at, we can see goals there, 6 in 10 for Raul Jimenez. We are going to look at shots on target and see who tops the charts. Jimenez with 13 in the last 10, and Burmo with 12. Wissa, he's in my fantasy team, so I'm hoping he does something. He scored the other week. There is Traore, as I was mentioning, 7 shots on target in the last 10. And I backed him before, didn't I? So I might as well put my money where my mouth is and go with Traore. Player props tool also allows you to check out tackles, passes, average rating as well, which is an interesting one across the last 10 games. Harry Wilson and Burmo 7.51. Burmo playing more minutes, of course. Let's look at passes as well if you want to check out that market. Ben Mee, Collins, Pinnock, Brentford keeping a lot of the ball. Anderson, is he back for Fulham in this game? We'll have to wait and see. Tackles per game as well. You can see Robertson on that left side. He's a good option in fantasy, isn't he, at the minute? Pinnock as well, got a goal, but no clean sheet for Brentford. Many people have got Flecken as well, which seems a bit of a strange one. We will also look at fouls because that is a market that's often available. Lukic, Tete, we've got Norgaard there. Norgaard playing in the middle. Pretty good option, to be fair. Traore likes to foul, likes to be fouled. Let's have a look at the markets that are on offer here. Norgaard to make a foul, 2.37. And then we will take a look at shots on target as well. And let's have a look at Adama Traore shot on target, shall we? 4.33. He's been impressive this season. Of course, Jimenez is the obvious choice for Brentford. Do you get better odds for the away team? And Burmo at 4s, takes penalties, remember. Wieser at 4. I'm going to go Wieser. I'm going to go with Wieser for this one. Let me know what you think about that in the comments. Adama Traore is obviously a good option as well. So this is what we're looking at for Fulham at Brentford. And of course, let me know in the comments what you think about this one. Over one card in the second half, BTTS to happen once more, as we saw overall. All but one game, or all but two games between these two when you combine the form. Norgaard to commit a foul, one of the highest in the player prop tool for total fouls across the last 10 games. And Wieser to have a shot on target. He is a man in form, as is Mbermo, as is a lot of those Fulham players as well. Jimenez, Traore, take your pick, to be honest, in terms of shots there for those players. So that is the video. I'll leave you with the Champions League probability model here. And remember, if you want to see a video for this, just hit like, comment and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one.